Transportation plan's very important. Transportation touches all aspects of our lives. All of us travel mostly every day, and the streets and public spaces that transportation happens in is an important part of our community. This is a great time to be updating the plan. We've completed a number of projects and we've learned a lot. And communities around North America are following similar trends. There's a cultural movement and a technical movement towards more complete streets. And that means, again, streets that allow people to travel in a variety of ways. Updating the plan now allows us to look forward with the growth that's happening and the growth that we expect between now and 2030 and plan out projects and road improvements that will enable us to reach the goals that we have from a mode split perspective and from an outcome perspective in terms of the environment, economic outcomes, and social outcomes. Canmore certainly has congestion in the summertime, peak times when we get a lot of visitation. Generally speaking, the delays at this point aren't too extensive, but as we continue to see growth and continue to see development and continue to see an increase in visitation, we can expect that delays are going to increase unless we make changes. The town center in our guiding documents is envisioned as the heart of our community, and it certainly is. As the town center is built out, we've accommodated through traditional design large open spaces to be able to drive vehicles and to be able to park vehicles, and that's used up the majority of our space. And so what we found in the parking study is that this is actually now becoming our constraint for growth and use of the town center is space for people. And the opportunity is, as we look to better manage our available parking stock, it could free up room for other uses, public uses, patios, green space, the types of things that we think about when we think about really wonderful places to be. For example, local transit has been introduced. Our previous transit mode share was around 1%. We expect that to increase with local transit. Regional transit has been doubled, and regional transit use growth is continuing. We've built Canmore's first complete street with Spring Creek Drive, connecting a very walkable community with the town center. And we've connected a number of visitor accommodations and communities on Bow Valley Trail with the improvement, with the crossing improvement of the CPR tracks through the Gateway area. What we envision for our residential streets in Canmore is consistent speeds between 20 kilometers an hour and 30 kilometers an hour. And at those speeds, you only sacrifice several seconds in travel time to get to your home by car. But what it means is that your community is going to be much quieter, much more comfortable. You're going to see more people out using the streets, and ultimately you're going to see less congestion on the busier collector and arterial roads. When we look at the different ways that we could build our roads and build our developments, we want to give consideration for how that's going to impact our community in the long term and evaluate based on the metrics that we think are important. So how is this community going to look in the future? How is it going to feel in the future? What kind of behaviors are we encouraging of our visitors? And thinking about what not just things look like immediately after the project's built, but in one generation or 2 generations down the road. As each project and initiative is rolled out, there's going to be engagement with the affected stakeholders and with the broader community. And there may even be a number of options that are considered for each project. And we'll need input to make sure that those options are fleshed out and they're developed and they end up being appropriate solutions for the community.